Alright, in this video I'm going to give you guys out there a few tips on how to get your ex-girlfriend back. And this is a man's guide. If you didn't realize by now, I got the sweet little man style presentation here. And of course I'm a guy. I've been through a few different breakups in my life. One in particular was probably one of the worst experiences I've ever been through, emotionally, physically, spiritually, everything wise. It was, one of the lowest points in my life. So however you're feeling right now, I definitely know what you're going through. If you're crying, if you're just feeling completely depressed and lonely, if you just everything on the radio reminds you of you and your ex and your relationship, if you just lost the will to get out of the house and spend time with your friends, and even if you've just lost the if you just don't know how to have a good time anymore and just don't know how to feel happy. I totally went through all of that and then some. When the girlfriend that I'm with, when she initially broke up with me, it was like a ton of bricks hit me because I thought everything was good. When she broke up with me, this was a few years back. It completely took me by surprise. I thought everything was going great in our relationship, but she thought otherwise, and I had no clue. So when she sat down with me, one afternoon, and she told me she needed some space, it totally, it really did a number on me. So I just want to say, whatever you're going through, I've gone through the same. So don't worry. If I can get through it, you can. And in this video, I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can do that. So let's get started with the first point. Number one thing you have to understand is logic won't make your ex fall back in love with you. A lot of guys, as guys, we're very rational thinking. We're very logical thinking, and you know, what's kind of funny is in most other pursuits outside of relationships, the logical side of our brain, the rational side of our brain, that's going to determine the bulk of our success. Yet, in love and relationships, and and with our ex-girlfriends, and just with women in general, and in social situations in general, the logical side of our brain is actually one of the biggest hindrances of success. Um, Quite simply, you can't logically convince your ex why the two of you should be together, and it's just not going to work. When it comes to romance and human connection, and just in our social relationships, they're run by our emotions and how we feel. And a lot of times, what we logically know and what we emotionally feel are two completely different things. Meaning, if you tell your ex the most convincing reason why the two of you are perfect for each other, and you could be completely right, that's not going to really change how she feels about you. It's not going to make her fall back in love with you. The only way that's going to happen is by changing the way she feels and changing her emotions. Women are emotional creatures by nature, by design, so much more than guys are. So it's really important to understand that debating with her, fighting with her, trying to give her all these reasons why you two should be together, it will not work. As the subhead says, you can't debate your way back into the relationship. So if you're doing those things, back off. It's not going to work. So There's definitely a lot more effective ways to make your ex fall back in love with you, and we'll get into that. But let's go into the second point. Number 2, acting like a wuss won't make her fall in love with you. You have to be a man. It's important to understand that how you are right now is probably completely different to the person that she initially started to fall for. When you initially met her, you were probably a fun guy, cool. You probably were having a good time and just like a cool guy to be around. And the guy that you've transformed into after the breakup and all this emotional craziness is completely different. You're irrational, you're emotional, you're probably irritable at the moment, you're lonely, you're depressed, and all these things make you behave in sort of wussy ways. Translated into the real world, that means calling her too much, telling her how much you love her, telling her how much you miss her, buying her gifts and flowers, saying you're sorry and apologizing for every little thing that happened wrong in the relationship, even if it wasn't even your fault. Taking the blame for everything. Just being overly nice and, basically giving away your power as a man to your ex-girlfriend in hopes that she'll think you're such a nice guy and such a sweet guy, and she'll feel bad for you and she'll take you back. That will not work. If anything, acting like this will only push her further away from you. It'll only strengthen her decision to break up with you even more. So you have to act like a man. You have to be a man, and you have to not give away your power to her, and hold your frame. I know it's hard right now to do that. You might be feeling completely the opposite and just want to tell her how much you love her and things like that, because your world is falling apart. But you have to understand that doing those things are counterproductive, and as much as it feels good to do those things, it's not going to bring her closer to you. It's only going to push her further away. So that's that point. Number 3, you can't get her back by trying to win her friends and family over. That won't work either. I know a lot of guys that when they break up with the relationship with their ex-girlfriend, they had a pretty good relationship with the girl's mom or dad or their friends, and as much as their girlfriend's moms or dads or friends don't want the two of you to break up, it still doesn't change her decision. So if you try to go to her mom or dad to try to convince her why you should be together, again, that's not going to work, and if anything, that's only going to strengthen her decision to break up with you. And the same goes with her friends. If her friends love you and they completely want you guys to be together, that's great, but that's them and that's not your ex. So you have to understand that those are two completely different things. So you can't do that. Like I said, the only way you're going to win her back is by changing the way she feels and emotionally feels about you. So, how do you do that? What are ways to get your ex-girlfriend back? How do you make those emotions and emotional triggers and attraction switches, how do you flip those up inside of your ex-girlfriend to make her see you as the guy that she actually initially fell for, and not this emotional wreck that you've turned into right now? Well, to find out, a few of these secrets, and because they are secrets, not a lot of people know about them, go to my site, which is there's a link down below, and I have a section specifically for guys and how to get their ex-girlfriend back. Go check that out. It's all free material, and apply that into your life, and I guarantee if you do that, you're going to start seeing results. and it's going to be far more effective, I'm sure, than what you've been doing in the last couple weeks. So go there now, and I'll see you on the other side. Take care. Bye-bye.